All right, here we are. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go down. I'm going to hide this, get rid of that. I'm going to go down to the little plus sign, and I'm going to click on that. Now, this is where we've been going to get our Part Studio set up and to create the assembly. But now I'm going to do this next one down, which is called Create a Drawing. So when you click on that, you're going to get this dialog box pop up. Now, there's really a strong likelihood that you don't have all of these things listed here yet. The reason these are here for me and maybe not for you is I've been using the software, so they tend to remember and stay on the screen here. But you will have this blue text that says Show on Shape Drawing Templates. So go ahead and click on that. And this is going to bring up this whole list of drawing templates. That's what they call the title blocks. They call them templates. And the one that you want to choose to use is right here, the ANSI A inch. Now, ANSI stands for National Standards, American National Standards Institute. And then the letter A is about the size of the paper. The size of an 8.5 inch by 11, so a regular letter size piece of paper, is what in drafting and engineering they call A size. The next size up is 11 by 17, and we do have our printer is able to print both 8.5 by 11 A sizes or 11 by 17, which are called B sizes. But for this drawing, we're going to use the ANSI A inch.dwt. I'm going to go down here and I'm just going to click on the OK button, and this will spin for a moment or two, and it will bring up this title block. Now, the really nice thing about this is that this instantly starts my assembly drawing. What's the right word for this command here? Searching for it. This is the insert command. That's what this is. All right. So I'm gonna slide down here to where it says drawing 1. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click on this and I'm gonna rename this. And the part that I'm going to rename this to is we're gonna make this blue one right now. This is called, I'm just gonna call it blue. B-L-U-E part. So I changed that name down there and I just click off of the tab and it sets it up for me. All right. Now, I'm going to go over here to this insert menu and I'm going to find my part. And these arrows, when you click on them, they bring the view of the part down on the screen. And I have the blue part right here. So I'm just going to click on that. And I'm going to bring it over here. And this part is always going to be my front view. Okay. Now, some things about the front view. And I'm just going to click on this right now, left click, and put it on the screen. And we'll take a look at it. So the thing about the front view is that it is the base of our drawing. It is the view that takes control of the other 3 views that we're going to put on here. Now, what this does is this instantly changes to what's called projected view. So I'm going to go up straight, and this is just the order that I usually do this in, and I'm going to go right above, and this is going to give me my top view. And then I'm going to continue on with projected. In order to do that, I have to click on the front view again and bring the side view over. And then I have to click on the front view and go up and get my isometric view. So that gives me my front, my top, and my right-hand side views. Now, when I'm looking at a view and evaluating it to see, in particular, the front view, if this is the view that I indeed want as my front view, what I need to do is look at a couple of factors. The first thing is, what's the longest side? Okay, so this is the longest side, isn't it, on this particular drawing? And so good, one thing checked off. 2, what's the most descriptive view? So this is pretty descriptive, right? That's basically an L shape. You can see that from here. Third thing is, does it have hidden lines? Now, this view doesn't have hidden lines in it. Correct or incorrect? Should this view have a hidden line in it? No? Yes? It should, because of this corner right here. So it's not showing me the hidden lines yet. Here's what you have to do. You have to go to the front view. You have to right click. Why is this not working? Oh, because I'm still in the insert command. So I'll hit escape a couple times. Now I'll go to the front view and right click. And at the very top is show hidden lines. And there's my hidden line. Okay. So this front view, this may not be the best front view because it has that hidden line in it. So I want to change this. And here's the true beauty of these softwares. They're what they call parametric. Parametric means that they are all intertwined between each other. So this view and this view are tied together. This view and this view are tied together. This view and this view are tied together. So I want to change the orientation of this. I actually want to spin this around 180 degrees. So I'm looking at it from the back. So I'm going to double click on this, left click, double left click. And you see right here, it says view orientation front. I'm going to select that. I'm going to change that to back. Then I'll hit my green check mark and it turned that around. It messed everything up. Now I'm going to go to my front view and I'm going to left click and drag this in and watch what happens to the top view. It stayed in line. I'm going to click on this one and drag him down. I can put him over there, but it moves the front view. So I'm going to just put some nice space between these things. I don't want to put my views, right up here in the corner, right? I got to have a little bit of space around them. And I'll bring this one down here. I'm going to double click on this and just make sure that right click on this. Right click. Yep. Show hidden lines is still on. Now this view didn't do that. This view should have hidden lines in it. So I'm going to right click on this one. Got to just get it in just the right spot to show all the stuff. Drag this down a little bit here, just so you can get this. There it is. Okay, good. Show hidden lines. So there it is. But these hidden lines are in the right-hand view. You're not going to usually be able to get rid of all the hidden lines, just most of them. A rule of dimensioning, by the way, just to tell you, we never dimension to hidden lines. Okay? Never ever dimension to hidden lines. All right. So we've got our views on here. Our front view has no hidden lines in it, which is what we want. Now we're going to start putting in some dimensions. But the first thing I want to do is I want to go up here to this isometric drawing. This is kind of big and it takes up a lot of space. And when we get more complex drawings, it's going to get very crowded fast. So let's just get into the habit of going up to the isometric, double clicking on it, and we're going to go right to where it says scale here. And I'm going to change this scale from 1 to 1 to 1 to 2. Now green check mark, and now that isometric is still there and gives us the information that we'd like it to, but it gives us space. All right. So I'm going to move these apart just a little bit. There we go. Now, dimensioning. So a couple rules of dimensioning. First of all, the dimensioning tool is right here. It's just to the right of the projection tool. You can click on this, but you notice something? It has the word dimension and then in parentheses a letter D. That's because I can use a shortcut and just type the letter D and see it highlighted and start doing dimensioning. Now, a couple things about dimensioning. First of all, we always dimension first from bottom to top. So I'm going to start with the front view. And most of our dimensions, by the way, are going to go on our front view. And we want to keep the dimensions in between the views. So in this area or in this area down here. So I'm going to start with my front view. So I'm going to click on a line, or I can click on a corner. And then I'm going to move up until I find another corner, which is right there. And I'm going to bring this dimension out. Now, the rules of dimensioning say that there should be a space of about 3/8 of an inch from the last object line, and the object line is that line right there, whoops, to the dimension line, which is the thing that's attached to the arrows. So we'll just move that out here. We don't want it way over here. We want it here, okay? Now, we're going to go back and we're going to do another dimension from that line to this one up here. And you'll see the 1.5. When I get close to the middle of the dimension arrows, it clicks down to it and puts that red dashed line in. So I'm just going to left click and put that there. I put space in between these things so that I don't, like go over the top of them. Okay, now we've gone from bottom to top on the front view. Now on the front view again, we want to go from left to right. So I'm going to type D on my keyboard, and I'm going to, you can click on the line. I'll do that with this one, and I'll move across until I find a line that makes a corner, which it does right here. And I'll click, and I'll put my dimension for 1 inch or whatever it is, or 1.5 right there. And then I will go back, get my left-hand line, and this one on the right. And again, same thing. It clicks into place, and I just spaced them out nicely. And there we have our front view. Notice the dimensions are between the views. Now, the dimensioning between this view here and this view here, if I were to dimension this one on this edge right here, which is exactly what I'm going to do, I would have this dimensioned correctly. I could do it down here on this if I didn't have the hidden lines. So usually, I got to be honest with you, I do the front view always, and I generally do the top view. I generally don't put dimensions on the right-hand side view. So I'll start my dimension tool. I'm going to go from bottom to top. So I go from this bottom line. I'm going to go up again to the corner of this one. I'll pull this out, and you'll notice something when I bring this out. That line, red line, shows up, and it means that I'm in line with the 0.75 in the front view. And I click, and then I'll dimension again from top to bottom, and this 1.5 is the same thing, lines right up. Now, this is completely dimensioned. The last thing I have to do on this before I actually close this out is I'm going to go zoom in here. And by the way, you're going to notice that this will put your name in. My name is Peter, and then last name Stewart. It'll also put in today's date. And then we have over here in this box, we have 3 lines. That means we can put in 3 lines of text. You can click on the top one if you want, or the middle one, doesn't matter to me. I just double clicked on it. And I'm going to put in here the name of the part, which in this instance is blue part. And I'll green check mark. These dashes inside of the gray boxes, when we print these, they don't appear. So we don't have to worry about those. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at my notes real quick. So essentially, when you put in a view, right click on it and say show hidden lines. I didn't do that with this one, right? Show hidden lines. Let's see what it does. Nothing. Okay, good. Show hidden lines. Make sure that you don't have any hidden lines in your front view. There are going to be times where you just can't get rid of them. All right, and they have to be in the front view. But that's the end of that. So now it's going to be your job to go ahead and to dimension all 5 of your puzzle cube pieces. Okay. That's all I can think to tell you for now.